What's up, Wikimaniacs? Welcome to another Monday Reddit reading episode. This week we have a boyfriend who loves their cat too much, a husband who destroys a stuffed animal, in-laws shocked at how a wife would describe her husband, and a personal story from Venmo. I said Benmo like a true Filipino. That was crazy. Also, would it be a Monday Reddit reading episode without a segment by the amazing Underbakke? And that's not all. If you're a YouTube member or a patron, you're going to get 2 stories today. That's right, 2. And one is, Am I the Asshole? Oops, sorry. All right, Reddit on Wiki starts now.
Get therapy.
I'm not reading.
Get therapy.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
The betrayal.
Our countries were at war before this, but now
Now
I crossed the line.
Trump said "Gum for Canadians," and I did. And then for the $20 account, you could see me coming a different way for Canadians. But truly, I read it, and
You
it
want to
seemed.
see my beaver tail?
Yeah, you want to see my beaver tail? I truly read it, and it seemed like a r/relationship thing. I didn't even realize it until I was,
The
posting.
realization was
Wow.
too late.
Yeah, it was too late.
Can't wait.
He doesn't end it with "Am I the asshole?" So it's
You know,
How was I supposed to
that's
know?
Sean's technicality right there.
You
It's
know
like,
what I
he
mean?
didn't ask.
he didn't ask.
I'm judging either way.
All right. Anything before we get into our first story, boy?
Gaycation merch is up now.
Oh, yeah.
Get it on our shop, Reddit on wikishop.com. Links in the description as well. Check that out. And half of all proceeds are going towards the Trevor Project.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you can get some swagged out merch and help a good cause. So
Oh yeah.
check that out.
And we got shirts, we got hoodies, we got cropped hoodies, we got sweaters, we got stickers, and we got tote bags. In fact, if you tell me what else you want that design on before the end of the month, I'll throw that on the store. I don't care. Just let me know. You want it on a goddamn hat? You want it on you want a poster? I don't.
Whoa.
You let me know what you would buy.
We've never
and I'll
sold
do
a
it.
poster.
Do they have that option?
Probably.
Yeah, they have posters.
Oh,
Yeah, they've got
wow.
to. They have stuffed animals, but not assholes, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's
They're
Damn.
really anti 18 plus over there.
That's all we go for. So I don't know.
Man, okay, not an ad, but like during like I was hanging out at my in-laws and they play movies while we hang out and talk, so it's kind of just background noise. We were watching the new Cameron Diaz Jamie Foxx movie, and they're like in the opening maybe first 10 minutes of it, they catch their daughter like at a club, and like their daughter is 14.
Oh God.
So they're
She
like
just like me for real.
obviously like, hey, we need to take you out of here. And then like a creepy dude is like, nah, she's good where she's at. And then they're like, we're taking home our teenage daughter. They're like, nah, she looked old enough. I was like,
Oh my God.
yo, I would kill somebody.
I don't know if I've even heard of this movie. So
Yeah, apparently it's new on, I won't even tell you the streaming site.
Okay.
'Cause they're not paying us.
cool.
But yeah, I was like, oh,
That's
I'm mad.
wild.
I'm mad.
Did you say illegal out loud?
No, I don't think it would sell well in the room with my in-laws.
It's just
I
a
don't think I
tick.
give a shit about
Illegal.
what.
What's happening?
But yeah, are we ready to hop into the first story, boys?
Let's do it.
All right, this is titled "My 25 female boyfriend, 27 male of a year has a cat, and the way he treats it bothers me."
I mean, it's a cat. And a pet. You're supposed to love it because that's all they know, and they deserve that love. You sound like a jealous bitch.
Yeah, I baby the shit out of my cats. So.
Me and Kevin
too.
have matching jerseys. Okay.
I pick Ringo up like a baby and I talk and baby talk to her.
We pick up our
Same.
cats as a baby and then talk baby voice, and then sometimes we're like, "Oh yeah, technically you're like 41 in cat years." I'm talking to you like a baby. You're a grown woman.
Sniffing the fuck out of those Frito factory paws all the time.
All right, so I will say, just getting ahead of this, Y'all are gonna be mad.
Oh, I hope at her, not him.
I think so. Spoiler alert.
Okay.
If she gives this cat to like the shelter, I would.
No, but she has some bad suggestions. All right, I've been dating this guy for a year. Otherwise, nice, handsome, funny, and he has a good job. But he has a cat that he's had for years that I think he's way too attached to and affectionate about.
Hey, you've only been around for a year. That cat,
Yeah, you don't matter.
that cat's family.
If the cat is sitting on his lap, he'll avoid getting up unless he absolutely has to,
That's a
citing
law.
that the cat being asleep, or in his terms, she's catting.
That's the unwritten rule of cats.
That's a law.
They're on you. You cannot move.
Yeah, you're frozen. He's asked me to get him stuff from the kitchen whenever I get a drink, when he could just move the cat himself. Sometimes he'll be at the computer, on the couch, or even lying in bed, and the cat will jump on him. Or he'll come home when I'm already there, since I have a key, and sometimes get off work before him, and the cat will run to greet him at the door. What bothers me is in these instances, he says, more times than often, "There's my girl," and he'll stop doing whatever he is doing so he could scratch the cat behind its ears or pet it or whatever.
Oh
She's
my
jealous
god, you
of a cat.
petty. You're so petty. That's crazy.
This seems like way too much attention for a grown man to be lavishing on a cat, of all things.
And a grown woman shouldn't be fucking bitching about situations like this when it's like, you know what? This is actually adorable that if this was like, you know, you had a future together and that could possibly, you know how much love that person is going to give a child, hopefully?
Yes, that's a green flag in every
That is
scenario.
a green freaking flag. They're
As cat owners, Josh and I are biased, obviously, but I would say it's green flags.
Oh, I would say it for dogs either. If he agrees
just
with his
pets
dog
in general,
like that,
or
yeah.
something that
Yeah.
you are deeply affectionate or care about. It's
Yeah.
like, caring is a green flag.
Exactly.
Yeah. I've considered suggesting he get rid of it,
Oh,
but he's had
my
it for
God.
something like 7 years, and I don't know if he'd give it up. Do I have any options here? Too long didn't read. Boyfriend has a cat that I think he's too affectionate towards. How can I remedy this?
Shut the
By
fuck
you
up or
getting
get out.
dumped. Yeah.
So there are edits and, updates sort of. So just so you know, before y'all go in all the way.
Too late.
Too late.
Yeah, go
I
ahead, go
hate
ahead.
her already.
You've been around for a year, and your concerns are not even like valid of any kind. Like, it'd be one thing if he was treating his cat poorly, then I would
Mhm.
understand your concern. But he's treating the cat like any owner I know treats their cats or dogs or any
Yeah.
like a pet that they have. It's like that's your child.
That's
in-
a pet parent,
Yeah,
a classic pet parent right there.
exactly.
Mhm.
And so like him greeting her, calling her my girl, and like letting her sit on his lap, like these are normal things. The fact that you're jealous is concerning. Like I would get hella therapy if I was you, because that's jealousy to a level where I'm like, it's concerning. Like, could I have friends outside of this relationship? You know what I mean? Like, I worry where this goes.
My concern is, why aren't you I mean, I know some animals are like, they prefer one person over the other.
Sure.
Chloe does not like me at all.
Yeah.
Kevin does not like Juliet whatsoever. So it's like, at least try to take the time to like bond with the cat at least. So I don't know. I'm getting red flags from this girl.
Yeah. You've also only been around for a year.
Yeah.
If you ask him to decide between you and his cat, that's so fucked up of you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here are some relevant comments, and there's an update at the end. So, not going to front. I'm going to skip all of the comments from other people and just read OP's answers because they're kind of insanity speaks for itself. OP, I'm really overwhelmed by the responses I'm getting. I thought his behavior was abnormal towards a pet.
Have you never had a pet or seen anyone who's had a pet before? Like, I mean, that's possible, I guess, but
That's fine if you feel weirded out by it, but it's like you're suggesting someone to get rid of something that they love,
yeah,
which is insane.
like, and then you could just leave that relationship. That's fine.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Another one, I'm really surprised at how this is apparently normal. If that's the case, I don't think I could deal with it long term, and I should do myself a favor and consider ending the relationship.
Yeah,
Do-
bye.
Do
Leave.
him a favor.
Yeah, do him a favor. The fuck?
Other comments, it's normal to lavish attention on an animal like that. to call a cat my girl when his girlfriend is 10 feet away, this just honestly seems weird to me.
Holy shit.
You're weird.
Another comment. My father and brother have a utilitarian approach when it comes to dogs, and we've never had cats. Dogs are used for hunting and home protection. They displayed some affection towards them, but I never saw them get upset when it was time for a dog to be put down.
Oh my God.
I mean, okay, that's valid that some dogs require like jobs for stimulation, and some dogs are meant for having jobs. Like I've seen a lot of Great Pyrenees who are like great freaking, like watching the farm. But the rest of that, it just sounds like you were raised to not have any empathy or care.
Yeah, because we had hunting dogs growing up. Like, we had 4, I think, at one point, and like every time, like we had to put them down, it was a very sad moment for my family.
A piece of you leaves. Brother.
Yeah,
Like, man.
I couldn't imagine being that cut off from my emotions to be
To not feel
sad
at all.
about that.
And then another comment. Yeah, he'd probably be sad if he had to put the cat down. Hell, he just spent like $600 on some vet stuff for the cat a few weeks ago. We had a big argument when I asked, maybe euthanasia was cheaper.
What?
My
the
dad never
fuck?
shelled out money like that for vets.
I
Well,
hate
your
you.
dad sounds like a piece of shit too, but
I hate you.
leave him because you are a toxic person.
And then here's the update. Yesterday, I posted about concerns I had with the way I thought my boyfriend was overly affectionate with his cat. I, like the rest of my family, view pets in a utilitarian light. That's going to kill me every time. Sorry, guys. I'm just not comfortable with a lot of affection being displayed towards an animal, even if it's supposedly normal. I gave it consideration during and after the thread and decided to break up with my boyfriend. When I broached the topic and the reason, his response was, "Oh, good." To be honest, I've been trying to figure out the most tactful way to break it off since our argument where you wanted me to euthanize my cat in order to save money.
Thank God.
Hell yeah.
I also wanted to take time to think about it if I was sure that I thought we were done. You can give me your apartment key back now and have your stuff out by Friday. I'll buzz you in if you can't finish it tonight. So I guess that's it. That was abrupt. Edit. Lots of people are commenting about the euthanasia thing. I was just surprised he'd spend $600 on a vet bill. I figured putting the cat down would be much cheaper. My dad never spent money like that on a vet.
What the fuck? Is she just looking at the cat as like some sort of like it's an old couch you just throw away when you're
Hell
It's
no,
like, what
bro.
are we talking about here? It's a living being with feelings, thoughts, and emotion, and you're just like, get rid of it. It's cheaper. What the fuck? I mean, here's the thing. I understand if you're not an animal person or a pet person, you don't like pets. That's fine. Like you don't have to, but don't be in that relationship then, and don't try and force them to get rid of the thing that they love. That's fucked up of you.
We'd go broke. Just try to save our pets
Same.
Exactly.
any day of the week.
Yes.
Also, it's been a while since I hosted. I completely forgot to give credit to that story. This is coming from r/I'm not sure, and that's not a subreddit. They cropped it out entirely. I don't know where they got this story.
Okay.
It looks the way it's formatted that this is a best of Redditor updates.
I would guess a relationship advice.
Yeah,
Probably.
maybe. But it is posted by all around goat, live stream goat, Discord goat, Reddit goat, Fred Groundscore Gomez 37, aka Kruger.
Yes. Go.
Hey, yo, Kruger, you need to chill on saying nice things about me on Instagram. 'Cause
Oh
my
yeah,
wife's
you're gonna
gonna-
get your ass beat, Fred.
My wife would go kill your ass.
You gotta be careful.
Hey,
All right.
and Juliet knows you by name now. She's like, hey, someone's hitting on me
You're
on the
on the
chat.
list.
Yeah, I was like, hey, someone's hitting on me on the chat. I was like, was it Fred? Was it Kruger? I was like, you damn right it was. She knows you, bro.
You're top of the list by the
Be
sounds of it.
careful. Tread
Be careful,
lightly.
She got resources for days, Fred. You need to chill.
She's triangulated your location.
We like you, Fred. We need you to chill. All right, this next one is coming from r/marriage, cross posted by Reading Allergy.
Whoa.
You reading their nut allergy, Sean?
Reading. Oh, actually, I should have mentioned this. We're pretty close to the 1 year of
What's that?
1 year
Really?
peanut allergy. I remember the YouTube video came out whenever Nancy and I were having our Valentine's dinner. So I don't know if that was actually on Valentine's Day, but I know it was around that time. I was going to the dinner. I was like, man, did I ruin our podcast? Is it over? That was the most amount of people I've seen mad at me. And we doubled down and tripled down and quadrupled down. So who cares?
And I felt like your popularity has gone up from there, Sean.
I don't
like,
think
you
so.
have
I think it's
much
taken a
people
hit that it's
love
never
you.
recovered from, and that's
Hell
okay.
nah, brother.
I'm cool with John or Josh being the favorite.
No, Sean, you're
It's definitely not me.
definitely the favorite. Bro.
I don't think.
You're the favorite.
I will
Brown.
debate that till the day I die. But shout out all the peanut allergy people. You survived another year just by a thread.
But Sean's coming for you.
I'm blowing dust everywhere.
Sean is Juliet and you're all Fred. He's
All y'all are Kruger to me. All right, this one is titled, "My husband ripped up and threw away a stuffed animal that my ex gave me."
Ooh.
I could see that being like he gave it to you when like a family member passed or something like that. And so it's like
A sentimental gift.
more than just a relationship thing at that point. It's a sentimental thing, yeah.
Unless it was some weird. Then this is 90 Day Fiance. It wasn't really so much more of like a stuffed toy, but it was like they kept things as trophies, and it was kind of a big topic. So
That's
I don't
weird.
know. Maybe that stuffed toy, that's weird shit.
I will say either way, it's pretty fucked up to just rip something up instead
Yeah.
of talking about it or just leaving.
I mean, the act of ripping something has a lot of force in it,
Yeah.
So it's.
Yeah.
I can see why it could be.
Not great.
All right, here we go. Years ago, my ex gave me a stuffed animal that I've been sleeping with for years. Recently, my husband found out that it was from my ex. He got upset, ripped it apart, and threw it in the trash, saying that I was being disrespectful. He asked me why I kept it and thinks I kept it because it reminds me of my ex, but that's definitely not the case. He feels disrespected, and I feel he's being immature. Was I wrong for keeping the stuffed animal?
Am I the asshole?
Look, I
It's an r/marriage. What can I do?
I'd understand, the perspective of like, oh, that was from like a past relationship. Like it would have been okay if the partner was like, hey, I'm uncomfortable with you sleeping with something that was given to you by a previous lover. Had they like communicated that, and OP could have been like, oh shit, you're feeling comfortable, like let's come up with a solution here, like where it's good for both parties. I just don't like the beginning where just like the act of like ripping something so violently and just throwing it in the trash without even having that conversation. That part is throwing me off a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not a super sentimental person, so I know for a fact it would not bother me that much in the same way. I could see being trying to understand where he's coming from. I could see being uncomfortable, but it's pretty fucked up to take matters in your own hand and just rip it up, like without having a conversation or even voicing your issue
Uncomfortableness.
With it.
Yeah.
And even then, like to me, it's like it's a stuffed animal. You're with me, so I wouldn't feel the insecurity, but I don't know. So I think it's wild of him to do that, and I would consider getting back with your ex.
Anytime there's like a violent outburst like that, it always freaks me out because it's like, it could escalate to something else like deeper than that. Because I feel like those types of blow up are like acts of passion, and
It's
sometimes
scary.
acts of passion can be dangerous and scary.
Yeah, I've watched true crime.
I've been on jury duty.
I told him I ain't showing up. I got another paper. I'm like, nope, not gonna be here.
I'm in Japan.
Yes.
Okay, so I will say this. Our subreddit is pretty much on our side, where it's like pretty much a bunch of posters on our subreddit being like, yeah, I think people who destroy shit are kind of scary, and they often tend to be abusive.
Yes.
But the comments in r/marriage were very much like, as a man, I could tell you 100%.
Oh my
it would
fuck.
bother me.
Jesus.
And then another
and that's
one.
fine. And that's fine. If it bothers you, that's okay.
Right, but that doesn't make the act of
doesn't-
tearing it apart and taking things into your own hands.
Yeah, like the
okay.
act of violence is not okay.
Yes, it's okay to be uncomfortable with it. Have a fucking conversation.
Yes.
And then listen to this one. Agreed. But all the people calling him insecure are showing that they don't really understand men. And these are upvoted. These are not like negatives. These are like plus 1,000, plus 100.
Has r/marriage been infiltrated by incels?
I don't know. And this is an older one from like 100.
Or just men that hate their marriage.
Probably. I don't
Yeah.
know. Are showing that they just don't really understand men. The drive to ensure paternity also drives emotions of territoriality. Is that even a word? Protection and jealousy. His response was too much, but her keeping it after accepting his proposal and sleeping with it for years is bad too.
No, that's
What?
toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Yeah, masculinity is having
Only
a fucking
men
mouth.
can be jealous and territorial. There's
Only
no
having a fucking mouth and have that conversation, have a sit down and say like, hey, I'm not comfortable with this.
Yes.
And I think that's the most secure way as a person, whether you're a man, woman, or anything else in between. Like, fucking just talk to your partner.
Yes, it is normal to feel jealousy and insecurity, but to handle it the way he did is not how a man should handle it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's exactly how John said. Conversation, be a fucking adult, and talk to someone. It's easy as that.
Okay.
That gives me disappointment in
r/marriage. So this is someone trying to explain why it would upset, because somebody is like, I wouldn't have ripped it up, but you should maybe not call him insecure and hear him out type of thing. So this one's
he
a more
was
in the middle
insecure
comment.
for ripping it up.
Ripping it up.
Mhm.
To rip it up immediately is crazy. But this person writes, same for me. I wouldn't have ripped it and tossed it. But I would be a little concerned how my wife couldn't be able to see that as a potential issue. The fact that OP doesn't see how her husband could view it as disrespectful is a bit alarming.
Also, the disrespectful thing, like, I don't get it.
Hold value to material. I could understand how somebody is like, would be interested to be like, oh, why would you keep the gift if it's somebody you didn't like end things well with? And then as soon as you get a response, be like, okay, that's fine. Like, I don't,
Yeah.
I just, unless it's like a super sentimental gift, then maybe I'd be like, I don't know. But also, I feel like the fact that you are that worried about any kind of material does, by definition is insecure about it, right? Like, regardless of if you think it's problematic or not. I mean, it is insecure to be like, I don't like that you have this gift because of any reason. Good or bad is insecurity.
Oh, go ahead, Josh. You said you had something.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I just don't understand. Like, she has said yes to has married you, said, like, right? Because they're married, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I imagine in r/marriages they're married.
Yeah.
And like, you've been together for how many years? I just don't see how you can be like insecure about this unless she's giving you a reason to, but it doesn't sound like she has. I just don't understand. And again, this is coming from someone who doesn't give a fuck about that stuff.
Yeah.
Like my in-laws have a huge like blanket thing that was like a present they made before I was involved, and my wife was with her ex, and like he's on it, and it doesn't bother me because it was like it's a thing before me.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I don't care.
Yeah. And that's great. That's a great way to like look at it. But at the same time too, like I can see the optics of things, right? Because it's like to me, especially like, sleeping and like sleeping at like, it's part of like your day to day. It's part of who you are, and like your bedroom is to a lot of people is like their most sacred place, like especially as a couple. I can see the optics of it being like, okay, there's still pieces of your ex in that same sharing that bed with us. So that part I can understand. I
Sure.
definitely like it kind of in a way from what it looks like, imagery, symbolism wise, it's like, okay, like you haven't fully moved on from your ex, even though you're with me. Like, some people will probably think that way, and that's fine to feel that way. But
Yeah.
voice it out. But voice it out with your partner.
Yes, that
all
is
we're gathering at.
the ultimate thing. My other thing is
Yeah.
like, say your ex bought you like a really nice sweater or something like that. It's like your favorite sweater. You guys break
Mhm.
up. You're keeping that sweater, right? You're wearing it.
Yeah, I'm not
You know
with
what I mean?
material goods. I can imagine most people. I feel. I mean, I can't speak for all people, but they got a cool thing. If my ex bought me a PS5, I still have a PS. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You're gonna destroy my PS5? I don't think so.
And I
actually.
do understand the difference between a stuffed animal and a PS5, but to me, it's just like it registers the same in my mind. So I don't know. I understand it when I look outside of my own biases. And I can see how we'd be insecure, but also like, yes. The thing we keep coming back to is just fucking talk
Talk
about
it out. Yes.
Yeah,
That's simple.
It's crazy to. This is for your boyfriend. Ah!
Exactly.
Like the immediate ripping is.
I feel like this is kind of what we've been harping on, like, the how many years, like 4 years we've been in the show. Like, a lot of people say like, oh, I've seen a lot of comments where like, oh, us three are kind of like the least toxic like men out there, which I mean, I have some toxicity, not gonna lie to you, but still,
We
it's
all
like
everyone
do.
does.
everyone does, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like at the end of the day, it's like just talk it out. Like
Yes.
that's the most important thing about, like, I mean, it's money, but in our relationships, it's just like if you have that secure relationship with your partner, you are gonna have those uncomfortable conversations. You are gonna feel some type of way about a lot of things, but that's what marriage is about, and that's what like being with someone is about. It's figuring out the hard stuff, sitting down, and just be like, how can we solve this? How can we move forward together as a couple instead of just lashing out and fucking acting some type of way?
Yeah. R/marriage. We're
Wildin',
looking at
bro.
you now. We're on to you now.
Come at me in the comments.
As men,
As a man,
come on
100%. Oh, God. All right. Are we ready for the next one?
Let's do it.
Which is also coming from r/marriage. This time cross posted by Hop Midscore into Midscore It.
Go.
Hell
Let's
yeah.
go.
This is, did I emasculate my husband?
By having a stuffed animal.
I stuffed him instead.
Hey.
Let's
You
go.
gotta.
If you're into that episode, you're into that.
Hell yeah.
I'll preface this by saying my husband is an emotional guy and I'm not. He's sweet and likes to write me little letters, etc. And I've always loved this about him. My husband and I were having dinner at my in-laws' house, and his parents, aunt, sister, and her husband, brother, and his GF were all there. They were talking about how a distant aunt was emotionless and didn't even cry when her mother died, and the topic of showing emotions was brought up. I mentioned how my husband was sensitive and I was not, but I thought it was a good thing that he was in tune with his emotions. His sister asked me to elaborate, so I said, oh, well, earlier on a drive today, he saw how the sun was shining on my face, and he said that I looked beautiful, and he started to get teary, and during our anniversary, he cried when I gave him his gift. My husband was sitting next to me as I said this, and he was unfazed. His sister and his aunt, though, they both said that I was emasculating him by telling that story and thought I was basically making him look weak.
What the fuck?
No, you're making it seem like, or you're making it seem like you have a husband that fucking loves you.
Yeah.
And is in tune with his emotions, which is
And
How dare he call you beautiful?
Yeah.
like,
What the
you are the
fuck?
son of my life. No, that's emasculating. Shut the fuck up.
My boyfriend's never called me beautiful. This
Yeah.
is your
Yeah.
fault.
This sounds like projection, 100%.
Yeah.
I asked my husband later, and he said he didn't think that, and he didn't feel ashamed at all. So, am I emasculating him without even knowing it?
No, and
No.
I do love that you had that conversation with them like afterwards.
Yes, I
and
love that.
yeah, and then your husband is just, or was it husband or boyfriend?
Husband, I think,
husband.
right?
Husband was just like, no. And at the end of the day, the only approval you should only care about is what your husband or your partner says about you. Who gives a fuck what those other two think?
Yeah, it's a very toxic family dynamic. Once you you're like, here's this beautiful moment we had in our relationship, and they're like, that's emasculating. It's like,
Yeah.
showing emotion is not emasculating. It's like he's cares about you and is able to show it and is comfortable to show it and does not care if you tell people. That's an awesome guy. So yeah, and like John said, coming to him afterwards to be like, hey, I just want to check in with you. Like you don't feel this was over the line, and he was like, no, and that's, as John
That
said
sounds
again,
healthy.
That's healthy, and
That's the
only
ideal, the
that matters.
standard.
Yeah.
Another thing I thought was super weird is it sounds like they were all complaining and like chopping on the distant aunt for being emotionless.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they bring up, oh yeah, my husband has no issue with that. He's very good with his emotions. They're like, whoa, you're emasculating. So truly, they think very antiquated that only women should have emotion and men must be, because they all hate it that this woman is so emotionless, but then also hate it when this man is showing emotion. So it's
I didn't
what
even
do y'all
clock that,
want?
but
Yeah.
you're right.
What the fuck is that about?
Oh,
I did check the comments just because I was interested in seeing.
men should feel emotions.
Yeah, I was interested to
have
see.
these traits about being territorial and protecting their tears from coming out of their eyes.
He should have started a fight.
So let's see if r/marriage redeems itself, and it shows like it has. Top comment.
Thank God.
It's pretty weak that people think showing emotion is weak. If your husband isn't bothered, I wouldn't give it a second thought.
You damn right.
There you go. That's the top comment. You got better. r/marriage.
At least that one commenter did.
Yeah, the one.
Don't
Well,
dig
it's the
it.
highest voted comment.
Don't dig
so we
any
gotta hope-
deeper.
Yeah, I'm too scared
Don't
to scroll.
pick most controversial because those gets really unhinged sometimes.
You know what's crazy? I don't even know how to do that. If I
it's the same button over the top post, brother.
Yeah, but
Just
Sean
click
uses,
it down.
Sean uses old Reddit. So.
Oh, yeah, he
I don't
does.
like the way new one looks.
No fucking every time having to link Sean's show notes, it's like, oh, I gotta fucking click the original.
Dude, I don't want to read. I don't like the way the new one looks.
Linking his
Like,
episodes
I'm-
always takes forever for me. I'm like, fuck.
There's got to be other people like me that prefer old. In fact, there is, because why else would old.reddit.com exist if there weren't others?
No, you're right. It's just funny that you're like the new version, and it's like half a
literally
decade old.
Who cares? I like what I like.
It's fair.
I can
should,
link
brother.
the old one. What's wrong with linking the old one?
No, it's just I gotta go to that. It's just I don't know. I'm I have ways of doing things.
We
If
all
it
have
has to
ways
be-
of doing
It has like
things.
it has to be like a certain way all the time for me. Yeah, it's just my brain, bro.
I appreciate both your quirks.
Thank you.
I love every single one of your quirks, brother.
Nice. My
Business partner.
old man, rich guy laugh.
We wouldn't have it any other way. We need our white man to have an old guy rich laugh.
You're our DEI hire for this fucking group,
Yeah.
bro.
Hell yeah. Am I losing my job? Shit.
Never. We stand with DEI
Yeah.
in this show, all right?
Hell yeah.
Random, but because we're talking about DI and fuck Trump, I saw somebody make a TikTok and they're like, "You need to rebrand MAGA to Mexicans ain't going anywhere."
Oh yeah, ain't going anywhere.
I was like, "Yo, that's low key lit."
Right.
You might,
I'm into that.
he
I'm
might
on
get
it.
a stroke fucking seeing that, but
So this one is a personal story from Venmo. I read out the Venmo to.
Oh, the one that John was supposed to do, but we definitely
Oh, you didn't tell
forgot.
me
To be
about
fair,
it.
I didn't link them. To be fair, I didn't.
Yeah,
link
yeah, yeah.
'em.
We all forgot.
Yeah. So this one is coming from r/Reddit on Wiki. Heard of that one?
Let's go.
Not cross-posted. Posted by Snowy Ground Score Cryptid.
ooh, one of the goats.
Hell yeah. This one is relationship advice. My best friend of 12 years wants us to try dating. What do I do?
Okay.
We'll need more info, but interested to see.
Even with no info needed, it's on your own timeline. If you're comfortable doing it, it's up to you.
Yeah.
All right. The first sentence is trigger warning for mentions of death. I will say I read the whole thing. It's not about death. It's just mentioned very briefly in the story.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if you're not comfortable with that, you can go ahead straight to the amazing Underbakke segment. All right, here we go. Hi, guys. This is my first time doing something like this, but I really wanted some opinions on this. It would be awesome to specifically get the boys' opinion on it, even more specifically John, because he seems like he just loves love, you know?
I do love love.
Sean and
It's
I
kind of what, me and Josh just fucking hate love? What the fuck is that about, Snow and Clinton?
I love love.
What the fuck? Yeah, you know what? I do fucking hate love. I'm sick of it.
Yeah. I'm not giving my input now.
Yeah. So here is my situation. My best friend, who I will be referring to as K throughout this, and I met at a comic convention when we were both 14 years old. We are now 26 years old and have been friends for 12 years at this point. We are both non-binary LGBT people with a little bit of leaning currently towards the feminine side of things, so our relationship has never been quote unquote normal to most people. For 12 years, we've held hands, cuddled, shared a bed, and really destroyed most boundaries even best friends would have. Between us, there is no such thing as TMI. Kay has literally seen me at my worst. In fact, I stayed with them for about 2 weeks while my dad was on life support back in 2021 after a heart attack, and they wrapped me in a weighted blanket and literally rubbed my back for hours until I finally fell asleep after going into shock about finding out that my dad was brain dead and wouldn't be coming back to me. Kay has also been with me at some of my happiest, both of us being lucky enough to travel Europe together when we were teenagers with a group of our friends to see a bunch of history museums and enjoy the culture there, including Kay's own culture. Kay is German and Swiss second-generation American, a white. So we got to, sorry. Don't need to say all that.
European.
That's what you get for not including Sean in this whole conversation, all right? He's
Enjoy
feeling some type of way right now.
Yeah, because I don't love love. I guess you're right. White is always right, huh?
Take off that love hat, Sean.
It's a broken heart.
You're right.
And we got to meet their grandma who still lives in Germany. She even bought us ice cream. All this is to say Kay and I have a very long history. At one point, when we were around 16, we tried quote unquote dating each other, but we were both so young, and thanks to my quote unquote problem, I'll get into that later, it didn't work out. So we just forgot about it and moved on, continuing to just be friends. However, in 2022, Kay brought up our first attempt at dating and asked why it never worked out. I mentioned that we were young and that my problem prevented me from dating really anyone. Kay wanted to try again, and being the spiritual little witch that they are, Kay even did a tarot card reading on me with my consent, and I was there to see what my future held. According to the reading that Kay did, I was looking for love, but I was closed off to the world.
This is rigged.
Yeah.
Who's dealing?
Yeah. It sounded exactly right, and our friends that were there also agreed. I, however, shut down the idea completely and said that I just don't feel the same about Kay. The thing is, I don't even know if that was true or not at the time. See, I've never really allowed myself to think about relationships when it involves myself. My quote unquote problem is that whenever I even slightly agree to commit to a relationship, I get a panic attack and I have to immediately back down and close myself off again. This has happened since I was a little kid, even with playground crushes where having a relationship meant holding hands at recess. I couldn't go more than maybe an hour of being in a quote unquote relationship before freaking out and having a panic attack. Kay and I lasted the longest when we were teenagers, but even that was only around 2 weeks and left me tossing and turning every night with so much anxiety I felt that I might die. So in an attempt to protect myself, at some point after Kay and I broke up, I stopped thinking about romance when it came to myself. So if I still had feelings for Kay at that time when they were doing the tarot, spelled tarot. So that's why
Carrot,
I'm sorry.
tarot.
Moving on. Tarot reading, I wouldn't be able to tell you as my heart was too blocked off at that point. That brings us to recent times. See, recently, the Reddit on Wiki boys started reading a lot of wholesome romantic stories. Or maybe I just started noticing them more. It made me stop and think, do I want this? And if so, with who?
Who?
Who? My first thoughts always went to Kay, the person who knew everything about me, who had been through everything with me. I thought about if I might be jealous if they were with somebody else, and I realized, yes, I would be. I realized how much I talk about them, how much I think about them, and I realized how I like holding their hand and how I talk to them every single day, even if it's just for a small check-in. The problem is, after years of squashing down every romantic feeling in your body and the closeness that comes with LGBT relationships and friendships, it's so hard to realize where that line is between being a friend or being a potential romance partner is, or if there was even a line to begin with. On top of all of these confusing feelings, I also can't imagine myself being intimate with Kay. But to be fair, I can't imagine being intimate with anyone. Besides just repressing my own feelings, we were both raised in Utah, and I specifically was raised under the Mormon faith. I'm no longer a part of this, though. But being raised in that faith means that I already had a strained relationship with the concept of intimacy in general because of how strict religions are about not having sex before marriage and most parents refusing to talk to their kids about it. I think this may have caused some internalized homophobia with me, but only directed at me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
What I
that
mean
does.
is everyone around me can love who they want, straight, gay, or otherwise, but I myself am not allowed that. If I ended up married, in my mind, it'd have to be with a straight cisgendered man who would treat me as his wife.
Gross.
I can't, yeah. I can't have my identity or my own sexual preference, but everyone else can. Which, once again, makes it hard for me to picture myself with Kay. Despite all of this, I did end up telling Kay that I thought I might be experiencing some romantic feelings again for them. But they know my anxieties, so being the friend that they are, they said some things to hopefully ease me into what we both hoped could be a relationship. Just small baby steps, like calling our hangouts dates, maybe sharing a kiss for the first time in almost a decade, stuff like that. We started what we would consider a normal hangout for us, but with the preface that it would be a date. I drove to their house, they made us some spaghetti. We had fun before switching into our PJs and lying down in bed to watch some YouTube and simply enjoy each other's company. However, Kay asked me what made me have these feelings again, and that's where my brain panicked. I freaked out, backed out, said this was a mistake and that I wasn't ready. My anxiety ruining everything yet again. We both cried super hard, and in the morning I went home. It was super awkward for a few days after that. It's been a few weeks since then, and I've talked to my therapist, who seems to think that the only way I'll be able to sort out my feeling is to try dating Kay. And now the fear of hurting Kay if my feelings aren't romantic is an even bigger anxiety to me after seeing them cry so hard. On top of that, I can't even get past one night without the anxiety when I'm quote unquote dating. I started with my own baby steps of just trying to let myself feel things. Whatever I think of Kay in what I would consider romantic way, I write in my journal. That way I can rationalize my feelings. Same thing when I think about other romantic feelings not involving Kay or friendship things. All this to better sort my feelings out. My biggest issues are when I think of Kay, it's not how people describe being in love with someone. My heart is not beating wildly. I'm not a blushing mess, and my stomach isn't in knots. I'm happy, of course, but not like the stereotype of having a crush on someone. Does this mean I don't have romantic feelings for them? Or is it just because I've known them for so long? The other issue is the whole intimacy thing. For anyone who's had a similar background, was it hard for you to picture yourself intimately with your partner or anyone for that matter before you got to that point? Did the want to be intimate with someone come after being in a relationship for a bit, or was it instant? I don't think I'm asexual, but considering how broad the spectrum is, could that be the case? Really, any and all advice and explanations would be amazing. Thank you. I'll start off before we get into anything. We three are probably not the guys.
I was gonna preface that.
Cisgender straight men.
Yeah, and it already sounds like you are speaking with a therapist with this and having someone professional that is speaking to you about like steps that you could possibly take. They're gonna know what steps to take a little bit way better than us. So I would say take a lot of what we say with a grain of salt, like right now. And you are right. It's Snowy Cryptid was the username, right?
Mm-hmm.
Snowy Cryptid. I do love, and love involves self-love. And I think a lot of it has to start with that. So I feel like you're in a great path. You realizing that there are things that you do that kind of sabotages, like, I don't know if sabotage is the word for it, but like, there's situations where like you feel like you're getting close to someone and then you have an anxiety about feeling that way. And it's valid to feel those feelings because that's who you like, that's you. That's how you feel. But I will say, before you even try to possibly get in a relationship or have a secondary or like, like have somebody like in your life, you have to love yourself first. You gotta accept who you are as a person. I know you mentioned that you possibly have, gotten some like internalized homophobia. Is that
That's what they say.
Internalized homophobia, but that's probably stemming from like how you were raised in the religion that you were in, that you were out of. And it seems like you are working towards, getting better and, dealing with those and having better coping mechanisms. But my first suggestion for you is self-love. Love who you are, love all the flaws, love all the perfections and imperfections that you have. Because at the end of the day, if you feel like you're the best version of yourself, you can give your best version to whoever partner that you want to give that, or piece of you to that person. Our situations are not the same. I kind of felt like that when, me and Juliet first started. Juliet was my best friend. Like before we even got married, we were best friends for like about, half a decade before we even, tried to date. And it was a big risk of trying to like, possibly date. Things just didn't fall into place. Like I was dating someone else. She was dating someone else during that time, either long-term, short-term, whatever. I was also scared. I was also scared that like, it wasn't going to work out. And I felt that I was going to lose somebody because I wanted to take a risk. But that's, at the end of the day, that's what love is for a lot of times. It's risk. You never know if you're going to be compatible with that person. But if that risk pays off, it's going to be the best fucking feeling you'll have in your life. And here we are 10 years later, we're still happily married. I still get that, bubbly feeling. But I had issues. I was a piece of shit, like, growing up, and she accepted me for all the flaws that I have.
That was real piece of shit.
Real piece of shit,
I've had slicked back.
This is pushback.
I used to slick my hair back like that. I had a lot of issues, and she accepted me, and she's always been my rock, like from the very beginning. And it seems like Kay has been your rock your entire life. So love yourself first, and make sure that you are in a place where you have the capability and the capacity to give that to someone else. Because if they're willing to give that to you, you have to give it like, you have to give that same love back, if not more, because that's what partnership and that's what relationships are about. It's just learning when to give, learning when to take. And that's how, that's how things progress as a couple too. And take a risk. That's the only way you'll live life to the fullest. Like, you don't know if you'll get hurt. You don't know if you're going to be happy. You just don't know, but you're never going to find out unless you try. So again, not the professionals. You're on the right path. Wishing the best for you. And we're here for your journey, and we're rooting for you all the way, whatever that step is.
Yeah, and I hate love. So.
Yeah.
Sorry, I rambled there a little bit.
No, it's good because they asked for your advice specifically.
Yeah, they want your advice the most. So.
Yeah, so I'm not going to lie. I didn't think of too many things while that was going on, knowing that it was going to be mostly a John advice section.
I zoned out the whole time you were reading this.
No, I heard it all. I listened to it all. I don't think I could have much more to say than John.
Yeah.
I will say this: love is scary, and it is
as it should be.
it should be, yeah. Like you are getting into a relationship with someone that you hope to be forever. You know what I mean? Like that's the goal for most people, I imagine. And so it seems like this person accepts you for who you are, loves you for who you are, and knows all about your anxieties and your fear of relationships and still wants to get in a relationship with you. So I think that is all signs point to try it out and see how it goes, knowing that you will be anxious and that it will, there will be fear in this. And that's okay. That happens to everyone when they get into a relationship. You have those nervous butterflies like, God, I hope this works out. Am I enough for this person? Like you have those anxieties, not to your extent maybe, but yours could be amplified more than the average person, which is fine. That's obviously okay. But you just got to know that it's more normal than you think. And just take it one day at a time, one step at a time with your partner. Yeah. Again, I think they are aware of what's going on. And so I think they'd be willing to take those steps with you for the long haul.
Yeah. And again, don't have much to add because you don't give a shit about what I have to say, but being quite honest.
But Sean, they sent you money, brother. That's your form of care.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I didn't get fucking shit.
Josh is the only one that should be angry about this.
He didn't benefit at all.
This is my new peanut allergy. You're my
Actually,
OPP.
I don't get any of that money anyways. Actually, it all
does
goes
get
to
donated.
charity.
Yeah.
It's true.
So I'm right there with you. No, just kidding. I will say, I mean, a lot of what John and Josh said is like pretty much what I would say anyways. Like, I wouldn't personally say like, you know better than we do if you want to try this relationship out or not. But and it sounds like Kay is a good friend. They might not be around always if you decide to wait, but that shouldn't be like pressure for you to make that decision. John's point of like, you got to like really, and you're on your path, you're in therapy. Yeah. You got to really like love yourself and like make sure you're in a good spot to be in a relationship. Just for the benefit of you and potentially Kay, if that works out. Or, somebody else. No one says, you have to be with your best friend just because they're into you. In cis relationships, we oftentimes say fuck them. You know what I mean? I will say probably not in this instance. Kay seems like a really great person, so I would say don't do that. But you shouldn't feel any pressure just because they are a great person.
Yeah,
that you have to be romantically involved with them. On paper, by the way you write about them, by the way
They sound
they've
amazing.
been there, it sure sounds like something romantic is there and could be there. But also no pressure. You know what I mean? You know it better than us. You know it better than your therapist. But I would say just really figure out what those issues are and then kind of like work past the trauma that is organized religion. You know what I mean? As a still practicing Catholic, I could see how any religion really could really fuck you up at a young age.
Yeah.
Especially, depending on what sect of that religion you get into. But yeah, there's no rush to this. This is life. This is lifelong. You know what I mean? So just figure out, do I want a relationship? If I do, what do I want to do with that relationship as far as like being asexual or not being asexual?
It's
Again,
like a choose your own adventure.
Yeah,
book.
it's D&D in real life.
Yeah.
But like
roll a die. Figure
like
Roll a
what we
D20.
said, we're three cis gender straight
unprofessional,
dudes.
no psychology
unprofessionals.
degree
So
whatsoever.
we don't have a lot of experience in your specific situation, but I think it's kind of the same. Like some things are kind of the same. You got to really work on yourself, make sure you love yourself and make sure you know what you want in a relationship before getting into one is probably always best practice.
Never half-ass love is my closing remarks.
And that's John who said that. He loves love. He's
He
the only
loves-
one out of the three of us
Out of the
that
three, I
loves
gotta
love.
say, I'm the only one, guys.
I
Come on.
hate it.
All right, guys, moving into the amazing Underbakke's Reddit reading section. This week we have Rate That Date. We got 3 dates and we're going to rate it 1 through 5.
All right.
1 obviously being bad, 5 being the best date ever.
Being A-OK.
Date number 1 coming from r/bad dates.
One.
Dan.
A 1. You got to imagine. Here we go. My dad just told me the story he has suppressed for almost 30 years.
Oh, man.
It goes a little something like this.
I do love a good dad lore.
Yeah, we love dad lore.
Back in my day.
Yeah, well, it's just like a story you've never heard before, and your dad just randomly opens up a dinner about it. Like, what the
Wait,
fuck?
why were you so nonchalant about that?
I've never heard that. That's the craziest story I've ever heard.
I was visiting my new girlfriend in her family home. She was really beautiful, and I didn't want to blow it with her. However, I felt the urge to poop. I knew I could do it quickly, so I went ahead and excused myself to the bathroom. Once in, I dropped my drawers and pooped. If that's not a dad word, drawers. I dropped my drawers. Okay. It was a clean poop, not too smelly and easy to push.
Oh, 5.
A 5. I considered myself lucky that it was. I hurried to flush and get out of there as if nothing had happened. But to my horror, the toilet would not flush.
Poop knife.
Oh,
Poop
no.
knife. I jiggled the knob, waited, flushed, again, nothing. There I was, staring at my creation with no hope. Until I noticed a neat little kitty litter box tucked in the corner of the tub.
Yo. People are way too comfortable just fishing out their number 2 and putting it places.
My first thought was, no. I mean, I can't. But my second thought was, what other option do I have? Folks, I did it. I reached in, grabbed the log with my bare hands, and headed straight for the litter box. I placed it neatly next to the feline turds, sprinkled some litter on it, washed my hands, and went out to return to the girl I had been pining for so long.
Oh, no.
Things ended, and I never confessed my crimes to her.
I think you take that to the grave.
But I will always wonder, who scooped up that imposter kitten turd?
Yeah, what would your reaction be if you're just like, oh my God.
This is shit. This is shit.
My God, I would take my cat to the vet, I think. I'd be like, is she okay?
Why does this have a handprint in it?
Could you please bring a fecal? Sir, that is a human turd.
I want to say that's probably why it didn't work out, right? It's got to be why it didn't work out.
Like, yeah, I definitely knew you shit in my litter box.
Boy.
I saved you your dignity by never telling you, but I knew. I mean, how could we not?
What's with all these toilets not flushing in these stories?
I don't
Some
know.
places have bad pressure, bro. Or you just have a really giant shit.
I mean, I guess,
Congrats to you for having a long enough log to fucking
Clog
clog a toilet, I guess.
And have it be a clean
A clean
one. That's good for you.
Oh, man. All right, so rate that date.
I'm inclined to give it a 5 just because it's probably how long that fucking turd is.
Just out of respect for the turd.
And the storytelling has been good. And I mean, this is a low bar, and hopefully he used a bar of soap. He washed his hands at least.
He did wash his hands.
I mean, the date itself wasn't it doesn't
In
sound like
question.
it didn't
Yeah,
end right then, right?
Yeah, I gotta
So-
say, any night where you have to pick up your own shit out of a toilet, I'm going with a 1, I think. The storytelling is impeccable, but I'm going 1.
Yeah, my issue is, though, that wasn't part of the date. I'm just like, I go with a 3, I think. Just because it's like, that's not why their relationship ended. Or
Yeah,
at least
that's
not
true.
right away anyway. Who knows later on. But
Later that night when she scooped it out of the goddamn litter box.
like, oh my God.
I have a 2-month-old kitten. There's no fucking way.
Yeah, so I'm going neutral with a 3 on this one.
Fair. Date number 2, also coming from r/bad dates,
Oh.
goes like this. I finally decided to start dating again. So I decided to make a Facebook dating profile.
Hey,
A
yo.
Facebook dating profile?
That's wild. That's how
That-
we know we haven't dated
That
in a while.
did used to be a thing, actually.
Was it really?
It was
Really?
for a
I never
very-
used dating sites, so I wouldn't know.
I don't think I
Yeah,
ever
same.
used it, but I it was like one of those like tabs beside like Marketplace and stuff.
Oh,
And it was
shit.
like you could go into it. I don't know if it was like Tinder or whatever, but It was, and I don't know how long it was around, but it definitely was a thing. I remember that. That's crazy.
I matched not too long afterwards with this guy. We had planned to meet the next night. Before I went on the date, I showed my sister a picture of him, and she said that he used to play bass in my dad's church. Something I didn't remember. It was the night of the date, and he was texting me over using the words babe and baby. I thought it was weird, but didn't want to judge him too quickly. But I should have canceled once he said, okay, let me shower and get all handsome. You can come over and wait while I shower?
What?
Yeah. But I didn't. I told him no, and I would meet him at the restaurant. I showed up, and things seemed to be going smoothly. I tell him, how have we met before? And said he had a crush on me back then. Mind you, I was 12 and he was 21.
Illegal.
Fucking
Jesus Christ.
illegal. Mega illegal.
Ugh.
He walked on the sundial and he kept asking me to be his girlfriend. I said no, because I didn't want to rush into anything and I wanted to just get to know him first. He kept asking and was telling me all these nice things he would do for me, but I still said no. The next day, he invited me over to his apartment, and while we were there, he was saying how nice guys always finish last.
Oh, there you go.
And kept asking me to promise that I wouldn't leave him
On a
and
first
leave him
date?
for a bad boy or hurt him.
A bad boy.
How
do you
old is she now?
I don't
care.
Say, but this guy's too old, even if she was of age.
If someone who is above 16
Maybe
says they have a crush on you when you're 12, that's a red flag.
And even then, I feel like just developmentally 16 and 12 are
Yeah.
pretty
I was being generous. I'm being generous.
That's 16 is so generous. 14, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you're that young, it should be like within 1 year, I feel like.
Yeah.
-10.
Yeah, arrested.
Arrested for sure.
I thought this was weird because we weren't even dating. Then he said the L word after talking for only 2 days.
What?
Just love bombing you.
He said he loved me and asked if I loved him back. I said no, and he proceeded to say, I think you do. I just think you're afraid to say it.
Leave his ass for a bad boy, girl.
Leave his ass for a bad boy.
I mean, this guy's an illegal.
Yeah.
He's literally had a crush on a 12-year-old when he was 21.
Jesus.
Insane.
So weird. He even said that he's going to get condoms so we can make love. Oh, wait. No, even worse. He even said he's going to get condoms so he can, quote unquote, make love to his baby.
Ugh.
Ew.
Ew.
Ugh.
This gave me such bad vibes, so I found an excuse to leave. When I got home, he kept saying how much he missed me, even though it had just been an hour after I left. The next morning, he kept texting me, and I just gave one-word answers or no answer at all. He got the message and said something about how it was awkward between us, so I told him how he's moving too fast and how you can't fall in love with someone in 2 days. He finally left me alone, but that was one of the worst dates that I've ever been on.
Bro, he's been in love with you since you were 12.
Yeah.
-5 if we
yeah.
are allowed.
-12.
Yeah. -12.
Sure.
Oh, that's
God.
disgusting. That guy should be on a watch list somewhere.
Check his hard
Agreed.
drives. Check his goddamn hard drives. All right. Last date is coming from r/askreddit.
Oh.
What has been the best first date you went on?
5. It's got to be right.
It's got to be right. Comment. I met a guy on Tinder. He was dreamy in his pictures. We texted for a couple of weeks. I had just moved to that area, so I wanted to make sure he wasn't some creepy weirdo. We got to know each other pretty well, so I agreed on a first date, watching a sunset on the river after work. My apartment at the time shared a parking lot with some other local businesses, so I had him pick me up outside one of the storefronts. We drove like 3 miles down the road to where the pull-off was. He brought chairs for us to sit on and a couple of beers, and we sat and enjoyed the sunset. The date was going really well. You could tell he was nervous around me, so I asked if we could go for a drive. He had a Jeep with the doors and top off. Whoa.
So cool. That's a bad boy.
Yeah, that's a bad boy. I don't know if I understand the doors off thing on Jeeps, but I drive a Kia Soul, so what can I say?
My legs are too short. I'd probably fall off. You know what I mean?
Seems dangerous, which is probably why it's cool.
Yeah.
We went for a drive down the river, and I was singing my heart out. Oh, damn, brave of you. First date, singing your heart out. I kept seeing him peeking at me. I told him to pull off at another area, and we just unloaded on each other about our past, what we wanted. I saw unloaded.
Already.
That sounds crazy.
Whoa.
Oh, shit.
10.
About our past, what we wanted, and what we saw for our futures, etc., etc. It was going so well. On the way back to my place, I made him pull over, and I grabbed his face and kissed him.
Whoa.
We got married in 26 days.
Hey,
that's a rom-com.
26
Hell
days.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you know, you know, I guess.
If you know, you know. Yeah. This sounds like a movie.
Sounds like a 10 to me.
Married in 26 days.
Sounds like a 12.
Like a 10. Yeah, no. Not for this story.
20? Is that better? 21. 21.
21.
It's legal. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, that's it for this episode, gentlemen. Before I end the episode, I got some Venmos to read.
Ooh.
So first up, we got Stephanie, who writes, "My Get Therapy sweatshirt has been my favorite thing this winter.
Oh, hell yeah.
Unfortunately, while caring for my grandmother, I ended up with bleach on it.
Ooh.
I need to buy another one. Please, please, please." Stephanie sends $5.
Okay, Sean.
Balls on your court, brother.
They're taking care of their grandmother.
Yeah, have some sympathy, Sean.
Yeah.
You could put tie-dye in other places. You can make it look tie-dye if you put bleach in other places. You know what I'm saying? Or you could wait till November when you are only a short...
Wait, if it's the Get Therapy one, isn't that perpetual?
That's a good question. What's the perpetual one?
I think it's a Get Therapy one.
But there's like multiple Get Therapy...
Oh, like variations of it?
Variations. If it's one of the ones that's currently on the shop, go for it. If it's one of the other ones...
We gotta wait till November.
I don't know. Reach out to me. Maybe enough Venmos will...
We do a March release.
Who knows? But that is the, you know, the thing with our monthly drops. You gotta... I mean, and you did get it. So truly, all right. Yeah, maybe the balls maker. Maybe I'll get a private link just for you.
Wow.
Wow.
I guess Venmo. You can comment on the Venmo. You'd have to send me another Venmo. So you let me know. I'll put up a private link.
Fucking grifter is this guy?
I'm giving them the link.
Just so they can buy more. Give me more money so you can pay me more.
I said you can comment on the Venmo. You don't have to send me another Venmo. You can comment on the Venmo that she sent.
I love love. Sean loves money.
Look, you don't have to send me more money, guys. You can comment on the Venmo.
I'm just giving you shit, brother.
But if you want to send another Venmo, don't let me stop you.
It's going to a good cause.
It's going to a good cause.
It's going straight to donations.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
All right, next up. I'm a good person. Next up, we got...
That sounds like a nice guy saying they're a nice guy.
I am a nice guy, actually. Before I even knew that was a bad thing.
Take that power back.
Yeah, we're just like we're taking MAGA back. We're taking nice guys back.
Yeah.
All right, Christina writes, "So my husband and I have taken a liking to romantasy books. So romantic fantasy.
Yeah.
These days, and more than often, the 19 to 23-year-old human, female main character, ends up with a 500-plus-year-old immortal male.
Yeah, I've heard
Hella
that.
illegal, bro.
Yeah.
Now, I understand the Sean rule as it applies to humans, but I would love to hear your thoughts regarding human/high fae relationships. My husband and I are both patrons with our own separate accounts
Oh.
because we love you guys. So your coats indeed. So your input on this subject is very valued. P.S. Fuck Donald Trump. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
You damn right. Go off, Sean. That's all you, brother. That's
All
your role.
If I'm gonna be completely honest, I think it's weird, bro. Twilight is weird, and even
Yeah.
weirder, Jacob imprinting on a baby. Don't love that either. That's strange.
That's literally
He's 18.
illegal.
That's a baby. But I guess actually that's not worse than the fucking 100-year-old dating a 16, 17. The fact that Edward Cullen goes through all of that for a high schooler.
Yeah.
I
Wild.
mean, Edward, date up, brother. You've been to college. You've known what yeah.
But the problem is they don't know any 500-year-olds, Sean.
I'll tell you what. I mean, I guess he eventually made her a vampire, so then it kind of evens out after a while.
Does it? Because she's still 100 years younger
Make
than
her a
him.
vampire after 25 is what I'm saying. I don't know. I've always been like, I mean, I get he's in high school, but he also has a wall full of graduation caps. He's been to high school quite a bit. What actor was that? Or what movie was that? Where it
I've
was
never
like,
watched Twilight.
high school girls. I keep getting older, but they stay the same. That creepy line that was at the time when it came out was supposed to be a cool line, but now we've all realized, wait.
It was college girls, I think.
Oh, still weird.
Yeah.
I think it was Matthew McConaughey in
I
Dazed
think
and
so.
Confused. Either way, I do think it's weird that all these. I mean, I guess you can't find somebody your own age, but I don't know. Maybe not a high schooler. Maybe get an adult.
So it's from Dazed and Confused, I think.
Called it.
Matthew McConaughey as David Wooderson.
Nice.
Never
You
seen
nailed it, Sean.
Got him. But yeah, that's my opinion. I don't know if y'all have any.
I mean, that's your rule, brother. You're the only one I can speak on it.
If I can have some input, I agree.
Yeah.
I think it is weird to have these it is also weird when it's
A male writer.
I was going
writing
to say, yeah, I didn't want to say it that way, but it feels weirder when it's like old man who's like, 200 years old. It's an elf. It doesn't count. And dating 19-year-old. It's fine.
He looks 17. That's okay, right? I think he's still a predator, actually, Edward
Yeah.
Cullen.
And I'm not saying like the books are bad necessarily. Like they could still have good plots
Look, I
and
love
stuff like that.
Twilight.
I'm not yucking your yum if you love those books. That's fine. But yeah, it is definitely a little bit.
They can't date anybody
weird.
over 25, is what
Watch
I'm
them
saying.
cancel both their patrons.
No, I think they understand as well. That's why they're asking the
That's
question.
why they asked. Don't ever ask the question you don't want the answers to, yo.
You want the truth? You can't handle the
You
truth.
can't handle it. Next up, we got Simon, who writes, Boys, after over a year of listening to the pod with my lovely girlfriend, I have just been informed that the intro is in fact saying, get therapy, and not hit the yerky.
What the fuck is the yerky?
It's this. This is now the yerky.
It's the
Hey,
yerky.
hit the yerky, bro. Yerk on them.
That's so funny. So I guess they've been listening since we've changed the intro too, because it used to be Shia LaBeouf for a while.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Never going to live this one down, but thought it might give you all a laugh. Love you
Hit the
guys.
yerk.
The yerky.
You're the
Simon.
yerk. You're the yerk. You're the yerk. 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 Can't see my feet, but I'm doing it.
Simon sends $10. Thank you,
Oh yeah,
Simon.
Simon. Thanks for that and the laugh.
Simon says yerky.
All right. Tessa sends $10 and writes, fuck, marry or yeet, cum coconut, octha, or poop knife.
Mary Ogtha.
I can't. Well, I mean, I guess
mean,
I'm
I
fucking
think
a
it's
coconut.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck the
Fuck
coconut.
a coconut, kill poop knife.
Kill the poop knife. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that makes the most sense.
It's easy. But
Dunzo.
only fuck the coconut once, y'all. We
No.
can't.
Over and over, bro. Come on.
For
No,
days on
We're all
Please,
end.
about
God.
sustainability here, you know?
Oh.
You put it in easy access.
Sarah sends $20 and writes, hey guys, Harrisonburg VA bakery owner here.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you all for offering to shout me out. My bakery is called BMC Bakes. It's named after my 2 moms.
Oh, hell yeah.
I sent a contact form about shipping you treats so you can let me know where to send them. I'll make sure to include our popular ube cookies.
Ube cookies.
Sarah,
Damn.
we are going to set up a P.O. box specifically for BMC Bakes. I'll tell you that. I'm making it my goal by the end of the week
I
to get
fucking
a P.O.
love
box
ube
set up.
cookies.
So,
Is it a
John,
blonde? Is it a blonde? Wait, is it a blondie cookie? Oh my god, I'm drooling.
Josh probably won't be able to get
no, not the
anything.
tariffs. They'll tariff the shit out of
The
it.
tariff will be crazy.
No, I don't know if
But
that's
John
true, but-
could come on down. I mean, I could mail him it
But you should
again.
mail it to me, motherfucker. I won't be home. Just kidding. You can.
I mean, it's going to come to me and then it's going to take 2 shipments to get to you. I don't know if it's still going to have its peak.
Can you just describe how it tastes when you
Yeah,
get it?
I'll FaceTime you, brother.
Cool. I appreciate
it. Yeah, actually do a review for us, Sean.
We won't be able to
Yes.
FaceTime John because he's on an Android.
This motherfucking green text bitch.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
I do love every time you make that joke. There's tons of people in the comments being like,
Yeah, they hate us when we do it.
Yeah.
They hate us when we do
I
it.
don't care.
Look, but we play the
Also,
heel. Cool.
crazy to be a fan of Apple now, right now. So.
That's true. That's true. It's a bad look on us. I'm not gonna lie.
Same with Google. So I mean,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
fucked either way.
Hey,
But you know what's even a worse look? A green text. Oh shit, that's crazy.
Oh, I fucking hate when it's just sent as an SMS message. What a fucking loser.
Oh my god. So and so reacted.
We've never texted.
That's true.
That's true. That's true. All right. Next up, we got Adam. Oh goodness. Hey y'all, just helping mourn the end of this year's football season. Now I can go on pretending that basketball, Raptors fan, and hockey, Sharks fan, are sports that I don't care about.
Hell yeah, low key.
Why you got to pretend that you don't care about them? You should let your freak flag fly, Adam.
Well, Sharks and Raptors are both terrible right now, but
That's
As a supporter of terrible teams, let your freak flag fly.
yeah, let it fly,
it
Adam.
means the tickets are cheaper. I'll tell you that.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
And actually, I am a low key Sharks fan as well.
Whoa.
They're my West Coast team.
Can never support multiple teams.
I like the logo. I'm not gonna.
That's
not gonna
why
lie.
when
It's
I
a
was
pretty
a-
cool logo.
Right? San Jose, right? San
Yes,
Jose.
San
yeah.
Jose. When I was a kid playing like the
The game.
I would always choose the Sharks because their logo was the sickest,
Hell yeah.
and so I grew up knowing their names. But I was also a Toronto fan, so it was a divide in me.
Adam sends $3. Thank you,
Ooh,
Adam.
thank you,
Thank
Adam.
you, Adam.
Next up, we have Joy, who writes wildfire help and donation. Hi, y'all. Just want to say this podcast is a great mental breather for me because I only listen to y'all and Smosh to help break up the workday. Also, peanut allergy here, who is used to having my name spelled wrong or pronounced incorrectly.
Oh, so they
Pronounced Joy.
they are conflicted on how to feel about you, Sean.
Yeah, Joy sends $15, and I'm so sorry, Joy.
Thank you, Joy.
That sucks, Almond Joy.
Jesus Christ.
Also,
They
shout out
probably
to
love almonds.
shout out to Smosh, but if I see one more goddamn comment that's like, "Why do you guys pick Smosh's stories too?" The fuck you mean?
Guys, we just release it a little bit later. I'm sure we're recording it at the same time, if that makes you feel
yeah.
any better.
They also have a whole production team, so they can do it faster than us and do
Yeah.
it full time, which some of us
Kudos
don't.
to them. We would love to be on Smosh, guys.
Yeah,
And we're different people.
Also, I'm sure the reactions are the exact same. That's why there's so many other Reddit
I'll tell you
podcasts.
what, we would have no idea because I purposely don't listen to other Reddit podcasts so I don't
Yeah.
get tainted by other opinions and stuff like that.
Same.
Yeah, I famously said I didn't even know there were other Reddit podcasts. I thought we were super original.
I feel like those comments are gonna come even harder now, John.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Maybe.
I have no. I actually like the Smosh team. Like I watch their other stuff. They seem like funny people, so I have no beef towards them.
Got
Yeah.
beef towards you people fucking saying that shit though.
Just crazy.
I have no beef towards them either because they're engaging with their content, and I'll take
Oh
it.
yeah. Keep talking shit. Keep talking your shit.
Next up, we got Heather, who writes, I've had a really heavy subject on my mind and would like to submit my story. I have read it, but I don't have enough storage space to download Discord. Where can I send it? Would love your views and takes as it's put me into a depression. I would say just throw it up on Reddit and then
Link
comment on your Venmo. Don't send me another Venmo, or do, with the link to the story. And then we'll get to it, just like we did on today's episode.
It'll take a while, but you'll get there.
Yeah, it'll take a while. Savannah writes, I fucking love the gaming streams.
Oh, shit.
Y'all are peak comedy when y'all play Pico Park.
It got really sexual so fast.
So fast.
I mean, it's us.
That's true.
I also got into Marvel Rivals after watching y'all play, and I'm choosing to blame you for my purchase of the Sue Storm Malice skin. You gooner, Savannah. You're a gooner. Y'all are starting off 2025. Pervert. So y'all are starting off 2025 so strong. I've never been prouder to be a rich. Savannah sends the sickest amount, $4.20.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Blaze it.
Leo writes, we mentioned prior to the stream, but we need to hop on and do a gaming stream soon. We need a schedule.
Yeah, we do.
Leo is next, and they write, I hereby request some Octa Be My Valentine merch.
Too late.
Leo sends
Next year.
$5. We're looking at that next year, Leo. Next up, we have Dr. Effie, the
Hey.
original Venmo goat.
Goat.
I'm currently 10 weeks postpartum, so I might just be sleep deprived, but I don't think you read my last Venmo, Sean.
Sean.
Spelled SHAAAAAAAAYAWN.
Why?
Got him.
I was so proud of my joke too. Lol. And I will say, I do remember reading this one because it was just on the one that had all of the Josh and Sienna Venmos. So it was like a while because we took a break.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll read it again just for the original goat here. We got, and I quote from Dr. Effie, 55 burgers, 55 fries,
Oh,
55
yeah.
tacos, 55 pies, 100 tater tots, 100 pizzas, 100 tenders, 100 meatballs, 100 coffees, 55 wings, 55 shakes, 55 pancakes, 55 pastas, and 155 taters. Sorry I've been MIA. Life has been insane, but I'm still an avid listener. Congrats to Josh and Sienna. Dr. Effie sends $10.
Yeah, I do remember
I know that
one.
reference now.
Yeah.
But thank you, Effie. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you, Doctor. All right, next up we got the Barefoot Conrosa, another Venmo goat.
They're going to be pissed.
Play it, Josh.
No, I don't want to
Piss
tag
you
it
out of
off.
respect for that. I'm officially on John's side when it comes to the water debate. I've been cat sitting at a place without filtered water, and this is as nasty as the coconut story. Barefoot Conrosa sends $1.
I will say, when I lived in Guelph, Ontario, their water
Crazy town name.
I don't know what to tell you. It's a name. Their water is very like it feels like you have soap on you basically when you shower and stuff, because it's so like, I don't know, a basic, I guess it would be the acidity.
Okay.
And so like I also had a hard time drinking that water as well. So I understand there are certain areas where it's just like, yeah, water bottle is definitely preferred.
Welcome to the bougie life.
I don't get the bougie water though.
I need certain tannins in my water, you know what I'm talking about.
We got yet another Venmo goat, Lauren,
Hey.
who writes, again, this is Lauren who sends us $30 every month while being a rich patron.
Goat.
Lauren, what are you doing? But thank you. Hi, boys. Sorry for the long pause, but I'm back, baby. Everything is scary right now. My partner and I are making plans for living in a different country just in case.
Take us.
Canada.
Yeah. You all are the bright spot in my truly scary world. Truly appreciate this podcast and you three right now. Thank you, Lauren.
Yeah. Good luck, Lauren, and wherever you happen to go. And
We're rooting for you.
wishing you the
Canada
best.
accepts you, sounds like.
Well, we'll see. I don't know actually.
Well, it could be bad over there too.
Well, I just don't know our immigration policies to say enough. But I imagine we are taking refugees, I imagine, which is crazy to say from America.
God damn it. Next up, we got Chelsea, who writes Sean, spelled SHAUGHWN. I hate to tell you this, but if the Chiefs win thanks to your reverse psychology bit, I think you're obligated to root for them all of next season. Chelsea sends $6.69. I would rather put myself in a video game and let John do what he pleases.
Oh, he would.
That sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
I know. He would treat me really nice, probably.
Very nice. Romantic.
He'd buy you that Sue Storm skin.
I don't even know what
He
that
put
is.
me
But
in the Sue Storm skin.
what is that skin?
Google it right now.
yeah.
I want
Was
to
it
see your
Sue
reaction.
Storm?
Sue Storm
Marvel-
Malice skin.
Yeah. Live
Sue
reaction.
Exactly right. That's it for this episode. We'll see you guys next
Wait.
few days. All right. Well, I forgot I was hosting for a second. Well, that's it for this episode. We'll see you guys on Friday or Wednesday or Tuesday if you pay for it. All right. Later. Bye.
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 Get therapy.